Wes, good to see you. Today we get to talk about phantom income and its scary tax implications. Few things sound scarier than phantom income. You would think any kind of income would be good, but this one and the taxes that come with it can take a lot of investors by surprise. What is phantom income?
Phantom income is actually what it sounds like. It's like getting taxed on income or a distribution from a fund, but you didn't actually receive it. So that seems kind of frustrating on the front end. It's a taxable event when that occurs in a taxable account. And Aaron, this is something that is so common, unfortunately, that we see with folks that maybe have taxable accounts and they ask us to evaluate them through the planning process.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of just having the wrong kinds of investments in the particular types of accounts that create those taxable events.
Okay, so it bears repeating. You're saying you are on the hook to pay taxes on money you haven't actually received.
That's right. So imagine holding onto a mutual fund within a non-qualified account. So it's a non-IRA kind of account. And this mutual fund distributes gains because internally they're buying and selling and probably realizing gains throughout the year. And oftentimes this occurs in December towards the end of the year, not always, but very commonly it does. And you receive a tax form at the end of the year that says, hey, you have X amount of dollars of gains, or you received this amount in interest and dividends, and you owe tax, even though it wasn't actually deposited to your checking account. It was just reinvested back into that mutual fund itself.
So explaining it, how do I know that I'm paying this tax? I'm looking for it on my tax return.
Well, you're going to be reporting it on your tax return
Okay.
because you receive a form from the brokerage firm. It's a tax form. It's going to be a 1099-B or 1099-DIV that's going to let you know where to
I
report
see.
that on your tax return.
I know you focus on strategic tax planning. So how do we avoid phantom income?
Well, it's not too difficult, but it's a matter of being really aware of what kinds
Yeah.
of investments you have and the types of accounts that you're invested in. So you can actually avoid these types of events, this phantom income, if you hold, say, mutual funds in a tax advantage account like an IRA or a 401k. Then if you have those kinds of events towards the end of the year in that type of account, it's not a taxable event. You could also, instead of holding on to mutual funds in a taxable account, use things that are more tax efficient, like an exchange traded fund,
Mm.
otherwise known as an ETF. Another strategy, Aaron, that you could do is called direct indexing. And that's where you essentially mimic the index by holding on to and investing in individual stocks. So you could, say, sell a position that has a gain and maybe sell one that has a loss, and those can offset one another. Then you don't have that pesky phantom income, and you don't have to report, any income or taxable event on your tax return the following year.
And are there any other strategies that we should consider to be more tax efficient?
Well, you could always think about, again, holding the right types of
Yeah.
funds. And you don't want to have too much turnover within a taxable account. So think about the management strategy going on in that kind of account. You want that to be more passive in nature. So it's less active, and you could have activeness going on in your tax advantaged account. So what we're
Mm.
talking about here, Aaron, is asset location. What types of investments do you hold in the tax qualified or non-qualified kind of account?
Okay, well, I'm glad we got to talk this through because I've heard it before. It really is kind of surprising. So, Wes, if somebody wants to make sure that they are being very tax efficient with their investments, how can they reach you?
Step one would be just to shoot us an email, info@patriotwealthnc.com, or you could give us a call, 919-322-4113.
Great. Wes, thank you.
Thank you.